happy birthday to my channel. There's Cha-Cha back there sleeping. Shadow, are we celebrating today 1 year? She's really excited. I mean, she's been just beside herself, really. She's really happy. So, no, but in all seriousness, do you ever have one of those days where everything is hard or harder than it should be? I mean, god dang, I just sometimes go, what is it? It's like a magnet for stuckness. You know, you go to sharpen a pencil and you can't find your pencil sharpener, or you sit down and you're gonna record your video and then you realize you have to pee again for like the 5th time, or you're hoping for a quiet, hour or whatever, and your neighbors come clamoring home and start screaming at the kids. Oh, and now I think they're turning on the bass. So it's just one of those things where you're just like, you gotta not be upset, because the more upset you get, the more these things happen. And that's gonna happen now. My neighbor, a different neighbor than the clamorers, the one that you hear the drumming, he's actually really talented. He's gonna practice now because we're making this video. So we just let all of it be as it may, because that's all we can do. Yeah, so you better enjoy it, because being miserable over things that you can't control, can't control, is pointless. Instead, we join. He's really good, though. I mean, that's not even giving you the gist. He's gonna get going. Like, he'll be like rock star level. All right, so I have no computer and can't use any kind of cool microphone, so everything is being done on my phone, which is fine, because thank God for technology and iPhones. However, it's kind of frustrating just not being able to have the same control over like what I'm hearing, and that's fine too. Maybe it doesn't matter. I guess personally it's kind of self-soothing. I don't know. But I'm sticking with it. And in celebration of 1 year, we're gonna make a paper heart out of origami, and probably do some other stuff too. Like this. Wait. I have this paper. Before we do that, now this is, when I look like this is where I go. Excuse me, did you have an appointment? Why don't you take a seat? And then we'll go over some questions when I get back. I am gonna do another one of those. It's just, today we have the band, rock music. So as long as you're okay with that, we're just gonna proceed. I mean, it's not like it's overly loud, right? Think of it as celebrating 1 year of the ASMR experiment, which has been quite a year. This paper is cool because I've got it, I don't even remember now, but it's the old school like teacher paper. I love it. And kind of an old school teacher-like person. Rumor has it. And that's not something that I aspire to be. I mean, just kind of how I am, I guess. It's my nurturing nature. It comes from childhood trauma. So, how has your year been? And more importantly, how has ASMR fit into your life in the last year? I hope that it's improved it somehow. Man, do you see my, I'm feeling around for it. I have a pencil sharpener. Hidden in the deep abyss of my, never mind, here it is. I can tell you that for me, and I mean, I've liked, been interested, figured out that I had this thing, whatever you want to call it, response ASMR thing for a long, well, I bet 15 years ago, something like that. A dear friend of mine was nice enough to explain to me why it was that I had to move my desk, because Linda on the other side of my cubicle would put me into a straight coma every time she typed dictation. I was like, I gotta go. I literally could not sit up. It was horrible. So my boss was nice enough to let me move, even though the explanation I gave her was weird. I was like, I don't know, I just fall asleep every time she types. And my friend said, yeah, that's ASMR. Have you heard of it? I was like, no, what's that? And so that began my lifelong love affair with Ting Ting, actually. She's the first one. Like, I was amazed. I was like, what's this? And why is she so beautiful? And now I'm asleep. And yeah, it was nice and it inspired me. And here I be, good, bad, and otherwise. So, your day today. Life the past year. And today is October 2nd, 2023, and it just occurred to me last night, or this morning actually, that exactly 1 year ago, exactly today, which is so crazy that I even thought of it and then happened to look and it was the same day, was the day that I made and posted my first video on YouTube, or the YouTube channel for ASMR, and I was like, that's so wild. And I did go back and watch it just for fun. It was nice. It really wasn't like as horrible as I thought it would be. Actually, it was kind of nice. I mean, I showed you guys stuff from my dresser, and I think that's like probably one of my better videos. I've had some bad ones, but that's okay. It's about the process and the practice and all of that, and not about, I don't know, I'm never going to be a, Ting Ting. Ting Ting. I love her so much. I'm never going to be I'm never gonna be. White cat whispers ASMR. Or the whispering gentleman. There's a million of them. Just paper ASMR. Nara ASMR. Love her. Oh my god. There's like so many. And some that I can't pronounce. But it's been a good year. Why did I all of a sudden decide to make an ASMR channel anyway? Here's your question. Dear friends, it's probably backwards. How has ASMR benefited your day-to-day life over the past year? Just imagine it the right side around and what it says. Unless you're good at reading. Backwards. For me, it's been a huge sort of space of refuge from stress and from life, because life is hard, and don't let all the magic tea parties and face creams and nice page turning fool us, right? It's hard. And that's why we're coming here, because it's a space where we can kind of like forget that, or let it disappears, because the ASMR takes over and fills that in for a while. And for me, it's almost instant. You know, like I can turn the video on and whatever it was that was going on that day, or that week, or tomorrow, kind of goes away during that time. It's wonderful. You know, wish I could just play the tape in my head all day long. Sometimes. I never do anything. Never go to work. Anywho, scheme. So I'm grateful for it. And I should have said this at the beginning. Turn my page over. I really should have said this at the beginning. But sometimes the biggest and fiercest armies are small but mighty, right? I just want to say that to all 79 wonderful human beings out there who've subscribed to my channel, some of them from the very first beginning, and a couple have dropped off, but that's okay. And the rest of you, 79 of you, have stuck around for 12 whole months, and it hasn't exactly been consistent or had a common theme or a common timeline, a length, post date, color scheme. I mean, pretty much I've just been like pew pew pew, but that's because I'm trying to figure out what really feels like me. And I think that is challenging, because in order to find that out, you have to find your true, authentic self. And for many people, including myself, finding that is difficult, because we are people pleasers, or we are fearful of rejection, or fearful of disappointment. Maybe we have conflict, what do you call that? Conflict avoidant personalities. And so all of those things can make it hard to find your own identity because you're always sort of reflecting off of who's in front of you at that time. So it's not that you're not yourself in front of your mom or in front of your boss or in front of a board meeting, in front of a group of children. It's that it's just a different sort of aspect of your personality. And that not everybody gets to see all of the aspects, which is fair. But I think when you peel all of those stimuli away and you just try to say, okay, what do you like? What do you like? Nobody else but you. Not what you think someone else might like or what someone else is doing, but what you like. And what is that? That's a question that's harder to answer than you might think. Maybe you actually totally agree with me. You're like, yeah, sister, super hard to answer that. If so, thank you. So, to my 79 lovely and kind fellow ASMR enthusiasts, I want you to know that the time that you've spent here, whether it was short, long, or in between, has been greatly appreciated. The comments and the compliments and the suggestions have all been welcomed and taken in with gratitude. I think it's neat. I remember the first time I got a comment, I was like, oh my God, what do I do with this? I mean, I feel like I should say like a lot, but I think I'm just a little too wordy sometimes. So what do you think of this drummer guy so far? He's not bad, right? He can go on forever. It's crazy. So, thank you. I hope that if I get around to celebrating a second channel birthday with you, that by then I won't be jacking around so much and like not posting like regularly and not having putting up an Instagram page but doing nothing at all with it, just tumbleweeds. But I did go through a big technology like meltdown, nuclear explosion or whatever, and so like everything in my life kind of fell apart in the technology arena. And I really wasn't comfortable or really capable of getting online and using certain things like social media because everything I had up until that point had been compromised by the douches. Who knows? I just think I must be stalker worthy. Just kidding, don't do it. No one, please. Even though this might be backwards, I want you all to know that all 79 individuals who have subscribed and who have hopefully come back again, you are cherished and you are like, you're gonna be like in the gold status, like VIP top rung. We're gonna get like I don't know, some kind of plaque, or we're gonna get engraved pens. I don't know, somebody can take us on a trip. Maybe someone has a boat. have boats. Boat shoes, possibly. How do you feel about the drumming? I mean, it's not. I think you can get with it. But I also get with hold music at work, so don't know if that's really, if that's even like relevant, but it's true. My coworkers laughed. I said, "What? Look, this makes it so much easier to pass the time." It's like, you know, playing, and you're just like, stupid. So stupid. But what can you do? Should we fold this just for shits and giggles? I think so. It is hard to make ASMR videos, though. Like, a lot harder than you would think. I was really like, what? This is like taking forever. And then not only just to make the video itself, but then if you actually did anything with it afterwards, like editing, which I have not, because I either A, don't know how, B, didn't have a, like, I guess, software to do so, or didn't understand how to use it. And, or I'd do it and get all done, and then I could play it and it was like silent, or I'd screw, you know, like something horrible would happen. I'd just be devastated. That's the worst, when you spend hours, and then you all to the, and you're like, oh my God, I had the mute button on the whole time, or something. That's pretty awful. And then so I get mad, just give up. But I made a lot of videos, many videos that I then deleted. Or I watched and thought, I don't know, man. I just think I'm too weird sometimes, but. And that's the other thing that happens, is your ego to be perfect, or your ego to be the best at something, your ego to wow people, to bring on something that no one else has brought. Somehow, all those things are huge impediments to getting anything done, because that is like a big weight on your leg, like one of those big ball and chains you're just dragging it across the yard, you know, and they just keep growing. And all it does is hold you back, holds me back from making content, because I just feel like, today I feel shitty. You know, today I'm like this, or whatever. And it's like, I don't even know. Or I'll be like, I don't even have a place to stick a camera, because there's laundry everywhere. You know, stuff like that. I don't know. It's a mood thing, maybe. Confidence thing. Frustration thing. Depression thing. Insecurity thing. Time thing. And then most of the time my stomach's growling, like insanely. Like earlier I made like a draft or whatever, which has nothing to do with anything I'm doing now, so what was the point? But literally it was just like the loudest thing I've ever heard. It was insane. For like 9 seconds straight, it would just be like, Rrr. I'm like, oh my God. And that's when you start getting that irritability. It's like this, and that's when everything goes wrong. You can't find your pencil sharpener. You like, you know, you go like this, you know, the cat throws up right on your bedspread right before you're gonna push play. The guy starts playing drums, you know, instead of me just like pulsing with rage, which is sometimes what happens. Today I chose to just be fine. It's also because I didn't have to work today. I traded days with someone. All right. Pencils. did say I was going to show you guys what I got at Walmart. I have this big bag of stuff. Not that big. However, I think I'll make it a second video because this one is like 25 minutes now, and I think the Walmart stuff, well, it'll probably take like, I mean, if it's just like we go through it and I just explain what it is or something, then maybe 20, 30 minutes. But then if we decide we want to do anything with any of the stuff in the bag, well, it just could get endless at that point. So I think the best thing to do is just make more than one. Plus then it's like more videos, right? Then I can say, oh look, I made like 8 million videos that day. Anniversary videos, even though it's not an anniversary, really, because it's only 1 year. You can't really say annual. You know, people go, oh, it's the first annual ever hoedown for ASMR Experiment. You can't say that because annual means that there's more than one. It's occurring yearly. But if you've only had one, there is no second occurrence. Therefore, there is no such thing as a first annual. That's just something I wanted to share. Lessons for the universe. So, there it is. They're cute. This is not my fashion statement. I found it in my house, my daughter's room. It's so cute. As a little, that's like a little star, little butterfly. This is my little coffee. Colombian with half and half. It's just to keep me going so I can keep up with Drummer Boy over there. You know, I wonder why if he like, well, he's like this old lady's over across the street jamming out to my drums. I'm like, yeah, man. I did actually compliment him one day. He's walking his little dog. Well, I think his mom's dog, I don't know, around the circle. And I was sitting outside and I was like, hey, dude. I said, are you the one that plays those drums over there with the garage cracked about? Like sleet or snow, 20 below weather, whatever it takes. Yeah, that's me. I was like, man, you're talented. You really are. And he really is. And he was like, oh, that's so nice. I said, do you have a band? So we got in this big chat about that he was in a band and then they kicked him out for some dumb reason. And then he was just like taking a break, you know, because he was really hurt by that experience, which I'm sure was awful. And he says, I said, well, are you going to get another band or what are you doing? I said, I always wanted to be in a band. And he didn't really seem to pick up on that, so he moved along. But he said, yeah, someday, you know, I'll be ready. And lo and behold, I think it was probably a month ago, I see a bunch of other dudes coming into the garage, and they have a band again. So that was really nice to see. Super happy for him. And he never plays all wild hours in the night. He's like really respectful, actually. I mean, it's loud, but it's like a good kind of loud. It's fine. Like nobody, I don't think anybody said anything. I mean, he's really nice. So I think we'll just think he's nice that he's enjoying himself and not out there, you know, slinging dope and whatever, smacking hoes. I mean, you know, the stuff that we just don't want people doing. So he's a good young person. Did you see that? This was really expensive. I'm a big fan of Family Dollar and Dollar Tree. This was $5 or $3. Oh man, it was $5, but I think I got it on sale. I think it was like $3 or $2. It's not a Yeti. I'm going to tell you that. That's true. Not a Yeti. But not a Stanley. It's a Family Dollar. That's fine. That's fine. Okay. I feel like we should brush your hair. I'll put some pins in it. Like, just fake like I have one. Oh, here. I mean, you just need me to part your hair on the side here. How's that? Can you see better? That side? Okay. That one looks like you kind of just need to pull your bangs a little bit to the right in front. There. There. Now you can see. So the other day, I didn't forget about these. The other day, I was trying to make these, and I got like the steps right, but somehow something was like flipped out of order, and they kept turning out like kind of like a heart, but then flat across the top. I was getting so mad. Again, pointless frustration. However, it did come back to me eventually. And then I also practiced trying to make something different, because I mean, hearts are kind of like, not that hearts are dumb or boring, no, they're wonderful. But I thought it'd be nice to make something else. And so I did. I ended up making like a little box, just like a paper, small square. It was really neat. Actually, I gave it to my mom, and I have not made another one, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it done again. Might have been like a one-box wonder. Oh my god, I hope the audio on this is actually turning out, because... So anyway, speaking of ruined computers and no microphones and misery like that, it really put me like in a low-level depression. And I got to the point where I was like, I didn't even want to try. I was like, well, I can't make it. I was like telling myself, I can't even make ASMR now. It's pointless. Well, but you don't need those things to make ASMR videos. You really just need a phone. I mean, whatever. So I told myself to get my head out of my... use the phone. Get on some lo-fi. And that's what I did. One of them didn't even get put on because it was like something happened in the audio. You couldn't hear it like at all. And then one of them I did post. Still, I posted anyway because I was just like so desperate. I was like, I just want to post something, even though you can barely hear it. It's like awful. And then all you can hear is this like whoosh of the refrigerator humming like a jet engine in the background, because that's the way it is. Probably gonna need a new one soon. But oh, now he's picking up the speed. He's getting kind of more like excitable. No. Should we do this one? I think they're supposed to be waves, but I've always kind of seen these as dragons or something. I'm not sure why that is, but and maybe they're not dragons at all. To me, they look like a big like Puff the Magic Dragon. Do you hear my neck crack? It does that all the time. And after a while, you don't even hear the drums anymore. You're just, it's like part of the fabric of your brain. It just melts in. It's like, just like not even there. And maybe it's actually borderline relaxing. I had said at one point, way back, that when my channel hit 100 subscribers, that I would do a Q&A from folks, and that you could send in questions for me, that I would do my best to answer them in a video. I suppose a bit like an interview style thing, like you guys are Oprah and I'm Oprah's guest star from ASMR Experiment. And then I would just respond to the questions. I did ask at one point if you guys have a preference, whether I should do that live, like do it live with that being it, or would it be better to do a pre-recorded video responding to the questions? And you folks who did respond to that sort of poll, there was like 3 of you that did. Thank you guys. And it's still up if you want to just jump in there, go ahead. The more the merrier. You said a video is better. So that's been my intention. But seeing as we're at a year at this point, and I think probably the original person who suggested the idea, who's really interested in that, is probably no longer a subscriber, I don't think, which is too bad. But maybe I should just forego the 100. Like, we don't need the honey. We just need the question and the answer session. Because it seems to me like, we could be here 5 years and like never get that done. So maybe I will just take a moratorium on the whole thing and say, isn't that cute? And say, we're doing it anyway. What do you think? Man, he's really going to town. See, and then at some point he just does like this big finale and just like goes like doing all these things. And it's actually really good. The first time he did that, I was leaving and I was outside in the driveway and I just stopped like middle of my sidewalk and I was like, what the? Because it was so good. I just like couldn't believe it. And then he finished and I was like, wow. And I was like, that's cool. Like right in our neighborhood. Right across the street, And then someday, if he gets like super famous, I can say, oh yeah, yep, he was my neighbor. And I was fully in support of his drumming, even though it was noisy and interrupted my ASMR videos in my bed. That's fine. One time I did one of these videos for you guys, like at nighttime. It was like a late night, and I couldn't figure out what I was. I like refolded it like 6 times trying to get it. That was a mess. Now this point, keep it like this. And I believe we fold it down like this. Kind of like hard to remember. This goes like that because once you do this part, go. Like that. It's gonna fold down. I suppose I should have been explaining this from the beginning. Sorry. This is neat though, see? If I can show you. And then you just like roll it down. And I will, once I get it initially folded, then I'm going to tuck it in there to like a little pocket. I think it looks nicer tucked in, but don't tell me, don't say that to my middle school self. I never believed in tucking anything in, and I didn't believe in belts, and I still don't. I was always like, no belts, Mom. She would be like, why don't you wear a belt with that? I'd say, no, freaking belts. I hated them. And now I just hate them because I don't really have a place to put one. You know. Yep. Aging gracefully. I am not. Well, doing my best. So then I'll show you. So then I folded it down like, and then now what I'm gonna do is these little guys are gonna go press down and then open up to make like the corners. And then once that's done, you'll see how cute and easy it is to make it then turn into a heart. A heart that you can share with anyone you like. You can give a heart to a stranger. Just make sure they don't follow you home. I ain't kidding, and that's boys and girls. The world is a crazier place than we could ever make up. That's for sure. Good and crazy. Isn't that funny? It looks like a little wild animal. Actually, if you go like this, it looks like a fox. And then you can fold these even to make it look like a cat. There's also a way to fold them to make it look like a bunny. It just gets nuts from here. Like animals galore can happen. Mouse. You name it. So now we have that. We're just gonna fold those in. I should have moved the table so you can see better. Maybe I will next, like the next one. I don't know. Is it that important? Maybe it is. I did make well, but the audio was really bad on that. The no talking video last week. But those don't seem to be as like, I don't know, maybe it's just not that it's not, they're not as well received, but that it's the you know, the audio itself, or like the activity itself that is not as maybe popular. I don't really know. We're almost there. Now we're gonna do these. And I have a little folding stick that I like to use, and that little one is okay, but I have a bigger one. I don't know what I did with that, two of them. And now they're both MIA. MIA, MIA. And they're just nice for folding sharp, smooth creases. Sometimes the precision isn't quite as nice with your hand, but, and it is true, like, it does make a big difference. I mean, I was watching origami videos and these people are like pouring over these folds, and I'm like, dude, just fold it. It can't be like, but if you don't get it like really, really perfect, then like the rest of the thing, it just like nothing lines up, and this will be like, you know, these won't be square and all like that jazz. It's just crazy. So from here, you have your little heart. You can do a couple things with this now. You can leave it like this. You can, this part, because you have this little pocket, and you have this little pocket. You can slip money in there, like a couple 50s, and send it to me. Then your other option is to put a note inside here. And then finally, and this is what I usually do, I just slip that in there. And that just to me makes it nice and neat. So maybe we should write on this one the date and say ASMR experiment birthday origami heart. And then I can keep it for posterity. Oh, look. I always have the same bag. It's just like, I don't know why I keep this one, but because I think it's a really nice, it just has a nice size and makes a good sound. I like it a lot. It's one of my favorite sounds, this bag. How we adore you, Sharpie. The whole world adores you. I would adore one of those giant sets of like all those colors that they have. It'd be so nice. Man, that's crazy. So I think I'll write for 79 subscribers on my 1-year birthday, channel birthday. Hallelujah. Let's go again. ASMR. You know, something like that. On 10, 2, 2023. Year 79 subscribers. How many videos are there? I think there's 60. Is that right? 60 or 61, maybe. I see 61 videos. One cat. And one thankful pseudo-librarian. I won't write that part. One thankful Amy. How's that? Oh, this was the A. There went the stomach. S. M. R. Experiment. The kind of jacked up experiment. Yeah. So it says the ASMR experiment 10/2/2023. 1 year, 79 subscribers, 61 videos, we think. One cat. She's still back there. And one thankful Amy. So, yay! Yay! See, that's how we do ASMR. We're screaming at people. We're like, get off my lawn! Get off my lawn! That guy won't get off my lawn. Hey, buddy, quit your yelling. That's funny. But we might have mentioned that I'm funny sometimes. That's what we need. We need people. Don't isolate, at least not too much. And thank you so much for watching my 1-year anniversary special. This is Amy. Thanks for watching.